Hello and welcome to a random review. I know it's been a very, very long time since I've done any review work. I actually did take a big step back away from it just to deal with certain things, but I wanted to kind of reboot my way back into the reviews, and we actually got gifted a review code for a teddy bear shooter called Stuffed on the Xbox Series X. And I thought, look, we're doing it as a review, so we might as well. So we streamed this directly on Twitch as well. You might even be able to see that VOD in the list of VODs on the channel if you actually want to watch the live full breakdown that we did. But we do have a bit to talk about, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to be as honest as I possibly can do, because I always try to keep it fair and to be as honest as I can. So with that in mind, I've got my notes written already. Let's break down Stuffed. The very first thing that we always look into is the choice of music used. Music is probably one of the most important aspects of any video game, in my opinion. It can make or break a game with whatever's showcased. And I'll be very honest, we got to the main menu and we heard the main menu melody and we were absolutely vibing to it. It was spot on. It really, really got me pumped and excited to play the game. Until you get into the game, and then the music is just a massive floppy, soggy, wet sock. It's horrible. It really, really, really is. The game plays out in a Call of Duty zombie style mechanic, and so there's longevity within the game itself. You're expected to try and survive for as long as you possibly can do, and the music was just shit. It was just flat out crap. The menu music was far superior than the actual in-game music, and that's just a Debbie Downer in my opinion. That really is, because it didn't keep me hyped. It didn't keep me excited to want to continue. It just killed the vibe, and it was noticeable within the community too. So it wasn't just me that was noticing the music. It was just boring, and it's a shame, because with games like this, and there are other games that do it incredibly well as well. Killing Floor 2 is phenomenal when it comes to its music, with games that are similar to this. And like I said, Stuffed just ruins it, like badly, really, really, really badly. So I am a split 50-50 at the moment, because again, you got the melody music right, but you got the key music in the game so badly wrong, and you didn't even mix it up. It's the same thing that just loops itself, and it's really, really badly done. The game effects itself, I had no real issue or problem with the guns or the any other sound effects within the game itself. It worked fine, and we had no real issues with it. The guns all sounded unique and they all sounded different, and that kind of worked nicely for me. So there's nothing really to talk about with that part. We did 4 straight hours of the game itself, and with the variety of weapons that we went through, even the boxing gloves, again, like I said, they all had their own unique sounds. They worked, and I was happy with it. Even the explosions sounded quite good. The voice acting is irrelevant. We can't talk about that because your teddy bear is mute. And I think that's a massive missed opportunity there, because it would have been nice for the teddy bear that you control to have some level of voice acting, even if it was in a style of something like Duke Nukem style. Or if you've ever played a game called Naughty Bear, the voice acting in that game is fantastic. It's really, really, really good. So they could have easily done both a male and even a female voice actress, just to read a couple of lines, just some badass like one-liner quotes and something like that, just to Easter egg other games. I mean, they could have done some Easter eggs for Duke Nukem, and that would have been hilarious. But there is no voice acting in the game. Textures, graphics, and weather effects. We can't talk about weather effects because there is none. Texturing and graphics, the graphics that they used was nice. The model designs were great. The cosmetics were great. The costumes that you can wear as the teddy bear, and even the color palettes that you can go through, all great. Can't knock it. But we broke the game. massively. We massively broke it to the point where the debris of the enemies that I was killing was being glitched into the game and it wouldn't disappear. And that was only a small part of the problem that we had, and I'll talk about that in a minute. The character model designs, I can't fault any of those. Yeah, I will say that there is a lack of enemies and a lack of enemy variations. Overall, that was also another disappointing factor in the game itself. It's just there's just not enough enemies that come at you. And it's a kids game, you know. You did such a great job at being creative with the weapons itself, but you weren't as creative when it came down to how many enemies are actually attacking you. And I mean, kids' toys, for crying out loud. You could have had RC cars with big teeth coming at you. Honest to God, you could have been really creative here. But I think you just played it too safe, and you just didn't roll down enough, in my opinion. The gameplay mechanics, as I said earlier on, the gameplay is extremely similar to Call of Duty Zombies. So if you've ever played any of those games, where you start off in a very, very small part of the room or the building, and you use your points to open up doors, which leads to other areas of the house. That will then gain you access to more varieties of weapons because the weapons are scattered around the house. They also drop power-ups throughout the game itself, like double damage. You can transform in a mighty great like realistic bear that goes around and swipes everything to death with its claws, and that was pretty cool until it broke the game to the point where we were invincible and the enemies couldn't damage us anymore, and then we could have basically cheated. We didn't do that because we got bored. We got bored very quickly. So yeah, we had to try and force the game to end the match because our character was bugged and wasn't receiving any damage. So it was a headache. It really was a headache because only 3 of the enemies would directly attack the door. The little black alien men and the really big black alien man as well. Those 2 would go straight for the door. And the sand puppets, or the sock puppets or whatever, they directly went for the door as well. So we just had to wear it out, so to speak. Or I don't know. But the mechanics of the game are very similar to COD-Zombies. You can't upgrade your weapons. You can't add perks or mods to said weapons other than, like I said, receiving double damage, receiving ammo. But you can go to there's a little workbench or a toy bench, and you can spend your level up points on receiving more health for your character, more health for the door, because that's the objective for the enemy. The enemy's objective is to break down the kid's door. And if they do, they win. So if you're able to protect that door from being broken into, you win. And after 10 waves, you get warped to a different point in the level. In the same level, you get warped to a different part of it, and it starts again, but it'll be on like wave 11 instead of wave 1, and then it goes up to wave 20, then 21, and so forth. So you kind of know what you're getting into. It's just there is a massive lack of content. They could have done different houses. They could have done a hotel, a cabin. They could have, honest to God, they could have been really, really, really creative with it. It could have been a haunted mansion that you ran around in, where the variation of enemies were controlled by what level you went to, which massively adds far more content to the game straight off the bat. So the replayability on this game right now is very small. Really, really, really small. And it doesn't help that the game's already technically dead. The launch of the game, I was informed, came out early access on PC 2021, and it stayed in early access for 3 years before pushed out in 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. It was pushed out in 2023 on Steam and on console. Now, I don't know how many updates were pushed down into this game, but not enough. It needed way more polishing than than ever, because the frames were dropping massively. There was a lot of stuttering throughout the game itself, and again, we broke the game on our very first playthrough. We managed to physically break the actual game mechanics to the point where we were made invincible and we could cheat if we wanted to. We also try to access the online lobbies. There are none. We noticed that the maximum player base on Steam was around 53 at its peak, and that's absolutely disgustingly, it's so bad. I'm so sorry, but that is atrocious. Story, if applicable, there isn't any. That could have been another opportunity right there if you could have actually made a story campaign where you look after the son or the daughter as they grow up through different parts of their life. You know, when they go to college, university, when they grow up, protecting their kids, their babies. So yeah, a story would have definitely added to the content 100%, but there is none. It's just online, offline or online, horde mode, and that's it. Any game customization and stats building. The stats building is within the game itself by using your level points to level up your bear's health. That's mainly that. But any game customization, you can do that from the main menu by spending your reward coins, which are earned through your progress through the game. The better you do, the more coins you earn, and then you can convert those coins into cosmetic customization options for your bear. And there was quite a good amount. Don't get me wrong, the outfits were cute. The color palette, as I said, was really, really, really good as well. So I can't really knock the game there. Could they have done more in terms of DLC or microtransactions within the game? Oh, hell yes. They could have actually made a good fortune if the game would have been more successful. And that in line is where the problem is that the game wasn't successful because it's dead. The game's completely dead. What they need to do is, I mean, this is completely my opinion. You've got Xbox Game Pass, you've got PC Games Pass, you've got PlayStation Plus. You need to get this game into those passes now, right fucking now. You need to give the people the chance to play this game for free with those passes, and again, that's obviously not a great strategy in terms of making money, but what you also need to do is get the development team working right now on additional content. They could do different teddies, not just one generic teddy. You could have multiple different teddies. You could also do different levels as well, different buildings that you occupy when you're trying to defeat the nightmare horde, and do those packages super fucking cheap, like really, 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 really cheap. And then after a couple of months, if you do notice your player base massively start to increase and your turnover starts to go up because of those add-ons and the microtransactions and the DLC, then you could maybe talk about removing it off of those passes and then selling the game for, I don't know, maybe $4.99 at best, nothing more than that. And hopefully that would also turn some form of profit for your company as well. But that is all just my opinion right there. That's, you know, do what you want. Do what you want. But we couldn't check. The next talking subject is online features, modes, and stability, and we couldn't fucking do any of that. We couldn't do it. We waited in queue to try and find people to play with. I even hosted lobbies, and no one came. And I'm not going to get friends to go out and buy this game so we can test the online stability, because I would need to enjoy the game and praise the living shit out of it to recommend it to friends. I would. And that's the template right there. What I've got written down is mainly just the details about the game. We've got the publisher is the game publisher. The development team behind it was Waving Bear Studios. The Xbox console release was the 20th of the 12th, 2023. The game rating is a PEGI 7. So the audience that they're looking for is the young teens. I mean, you could have done an 18 rated version of gore, blood, guts, and gore, and that would have been funny as hell. But that's just me. It's a single player shooter experience with online multiplayer action from 2 to 4 players and online co-op 2 to 4. Its current price is £10.50. but you can get it if you own Game Pass for $7.34, and that's too expensive. I'm sorry, it is too expensive for what it is right now. You need to like drop that price, in my opinion. There are currently no microtransactions. 36 achievements on the Xbox that you can get. The main music, already talked about that. The main menu music is probably the best thing about the game, in my honest opinion. The map rotation isn't good enough. Different map designs, different houses. The map reload. So after 10 waves, like I said, you get warped to another point in the house. That didn't fix our bug. So I was hoping it was going to fix the bug, but it didn't. There's also a treasure box in the game, or a toy box in the game, that they could have utilized as a random gun generator, like the loot crate in Zombies. No. They could have done that, but no. Destructible environments. Why? That would be awesome. If you want my opinion, that would have been awesome. Weapon perks, no. And lack of enemy variation, and that's pretty much everything that I've got written down and everything that we've already talked about. So what it boils down to really is, would I recommend this game to people, and what would I score it? And I'm sorry to do this, I am, but I wouldn't recommend this game to anyone. I would probably let kids play it though. I mean, if you get it on Game Pass for free and you get the kiddies to play it, sure, why not? If it's on Game Pass, give it a go, because then that way it boosts the amount of people that are playing it, and hopefully they can share an experience with their friends. So if you can play this game for free because it's on a pass, then I would 100%, yes, go for it, go play it. Get the kids involved, because they actually might find it quite fun to play. But would I say pay for it? No. I wouldn't put 11 quid into this game at all. I'm sorry, it's not even that. No more than a $5, if you want my honest opinion. But even that is still pricey for what you're getting. And the fact that we broke the game right now and it's not polished enough. Again, if you can play it for free, I would probably do it at that point, but get the kids to play it. And because we kind of soft locked the game in a way. We didn't hard lock it though. We were still able to get the enemies to destroy the door, but we could have stopped them, and we could have basically cheated our way through the rest of those long achievements. I mean, the average game is a 5 out of 10. It's below average. It's broken as well, and there's just not enough content. The music sucks, and I wouldn't be willing to go anything more than a 2 out of 10. If you want my honest opinion, I wouldn't push for more than a 2, and that's it. The team behind this, if you ever watch this video, which I doubt it, the ideas that I've already chucked out, maybe look into that, but no more than 2. I hope you guys have enjoyed the review. And it sucks to do reviews like this because, you know, I always like to hype up indie games. We've done so many indie games that we have absolutely fallen in love with, and those reviews are even on my YouTube as well. But this recording is going to go up on YouTube. I'm gonna give the URL to Keymailers as well, because that's what they expect out of a review. And I hope to see you soon. For all my YouTube community, if you want to catch me live, I am currently over on Twitch. I'd love to see your face. I appreciate you all. Much love as always. Stay safe, healthy, and well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.